This is a podcast about both having autism and living with someone who has autism. My mom is Sonya, and I'm Josh, and this is Josh Has Autism.
Hey everybody, welcome to Josh Has Autism.
Hello.
Josh, I'm happy that you're here with me today.
Me
And
too.
so I want to ask you about some things that we've never talked about before, at least I don't remember it. I know. So you're in a new place now. You're back here.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a new room here for you.
Yeah.
And I want to know specifically, what do you need in your environment to be okay and to feel okay? You need me to elaborate?
I can think of one thing at least, but I can think of one thing at least, but it's not beyond that. I can't. I'll need help.
Okay.
That one thing being that it's somewhere that I can just step back and relax, recover, whatever, and just not. I'm not saying it very well. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's just a place where you can get away from everybody, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
To get away from everybody, everything, all the
Yeah.
worries, the anxiety,
Yeah.
the stress that just being in this crazy world creates.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there anything that you have to have specifically that helps you to feel more comfortable?
I'm not.
You don't know? Well, so you have a bed.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually my favorite bed. It's so comfortable. It is so comfortable. And so that used to be in the guest room.
Mm.
And then when we moved out of an apartment, your bed was old and it just needed to go away. So it did. Anyway, now you have this bed that's so comfortable. And whenever you think about where you put your stuff, do things have to be organized in a particular way?
A lot of times, yeah. And it's honestly, I remember all growing up, clean up your mess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in the right spot. I know exactly where it is.
In between the dust particles. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
So one of the things is that when Nana and Pappy moved up here, so Dad and I bought the house about 5 months, I think, before they moved in with us.
Mm.
And for those 5 months, we had the master bedroom. It has a master bath with it.
Mm-hmm.
2 closets. There's just plenty of room. It's a big bedroom. It's
Yeah.
plenty of room.
Yeah.
And so we came out of there so that they could have the master, because Nana needed to be able to get to a bathroom quickly and safely.
Yeah. It also didn't have a tub. Really, it was a walk-in bath.
Yes, so she didn't have to step over and into it, so that made
Right.
a lot of sense. But it was very different around here because it was super crowded.
Yeah.
So we basically had 2 households that came in, and then that's where Dad and I built a 12 by 24 shed, I believe it is out there,
Yeah.
just to put stuff in because we didn't have enough room because there were 2 households coming into one.
Right.
Um,
And we filled it up with that.
yeah, it's packed.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're starting to take stuff out though
Mm-hmm.
now because Pappy's moved over there,
Mm-hmm.
and
The construction's done.
yeah, it's done. And
Yeah.
so anyways, what I'm saying is that when I moved, for a while, living here didn't really feel like my place.
Right.
It didn't really feel, not necessarily my place, but our home.
Right.
It includes you, includes Dad and I, you know.
Yeah.
it didn't really feel like our home because nothing was in the place where I would want it. It was just so much packed in,
Yeah.
you know, and it was out of necessity. It made sense, but,
Right.
you know, and the bedroom that we were sleeping in, now, it is your bedroom now.
Yeah.
And whenever we were sleeping in there, it was crowded. It was, you know, because it worked as my office and our bedroom.
Yeah.
And then Dad's office was in here, in
Yeah.
the guest room. And anyway, it just was, nothing was where we would want it to be.
Right.
And as soon as I think that, you know, I think about you and I wonder, because of the situation now, well, you're moving your stuff back in there. But I'll give an example. We have this, I just know them as cubbies from like preschool when you guys,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I remember them called cubbies where,
Cubby holes, yeah.
yeah, they're basically these, like
Square
they come from
shelves.
IKEA, yes, and they're open on the back, and some of them have baskets on them so that you can put stuff in it.
Yeah.
And here's the difference in your dad and I. Dad has everything nice and neat and folded, and you know all of his belongings where they go.
Nice
and
and organized
mine
and everything,
is like a total, like,
Hey,
my
there's room. Let's
socks.
put it in there.
Just throw it in there and then have to dig around for it. And,
Yeah.
you know, even our desks are like that. But anyway, that big piece, that we got it from IKEA. So it's big,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got a lot of space, and you like it, and it actually matches the bed frame that you were using before. And so it would be a good idea for you to have it. So my question is, that's not originally yours. And if something wasn't originally your idea, does that take a while for you to get used to?
Sometimes. Yeah, it depends on how much I initially understand it and agree with it. Like for example, working in groups for science class. If someone else had an idea that I knew wouldn't work, it would really be difficult for me to say, yes, let's do this.
Well, in this case, this was a piece of furniture. I know some people, it's IKEA, some people wouldn't really call it furniture. but it worked for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's big.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of places to put stuff. There's places to put clothes. There's baskets for you to put stuff that might be loose, you know, that you don't really know where to put it. So
right.
you don't want to get rid of it, but
right.
you know, so anyway, it was ours. You didn't go and choose it. And my question is that when that happens, when you like something, because you said you wanted it,
Yeah.
what would happen is in order to take it out of that room, we would have to take it apart.
Yeah.
And so I said to you, I don't want to take it apart again. You know, because IKEA is held together with all these wooden
yeah.
dowels, you know. It's just
Yeah.
a pain in the bottom to take apart. Anyway, you said you liked it. And so with that, does it feel overwhelming that... So I have two questions about that. One, it wasn't yours to begin with, so how do you feel about having that not something that you actually chose? The other thing is it overwhelming because there's so many choices? Because it's big. It has a lot of... I haven't counted them, but...
It's a 5x5, so 25.
Okay, 25.
No, or 20, something like that. It's either 4x5 or 5x5.
It's bigger than this, so it's 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
At least 5 high.
16. At least 5 high. 5
Yeah,
high.
it's 25 because it was, you could make a diamond out of the baskets that you had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my question is that does it feel overwhelming that there are so many options? So, for example, a regular dresser.
Mm-hmm.
Pull out the drawer. You choose what goes there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's done.
Right.
But on this, you can see some of the things that are not in a basket.
Right.
And so, does it feel uncomfortable sometimes that where you the question of where are you going to put something?
Right. Oh, excuse me. I go to answer and I burp instead. Sorry.
Okay.
So there's 2 points about that I need to make.
Okay.
One is that there is still a lot of empty shelves.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of places to just spread my stuff out on them right now.
Mm-hmm.
The other is that all my stuff isn't here yet.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
True.
it is still in.
Well, in that shed,
Yeah.
you have tubs of books.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's not an issue yet. It might be.
Mm-hmm.
But as it stands right now, I'm not stressing about it as much as I would in the future. Whenever I need to make sure that there's enough room.
So having more than enough room is not a problem for you?
No, I wouldn't say that. Because it's still an issue. It's not as much of an issue as if I had more stuff than I had room.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying that it's not as much of an issue.
So here's what I'm asking about this in particular, because I had, since that used to be ours, I had a couple of things still on a couple of in the cubes,
Mm-hmm.
and I went in to get them, and I noticed that you had like one of the cubes, one thing in it, and then a different cube you had like medication lined up just so.
Yeah.
And then in a different cube you would have again one little thing. I know, and I'm not making fun of that. What I'm trying to understand is, what are you thinking? And I mean that.
Yeah,
I mean that. Yeah.
What are you thinking, you crazy child? Or man-child, whatever. Yeah. It's... Initially, I only had a couple of spots on there available because you were still moving stuff out. Right now, I haven't moved a lot of the other stuff onto more available ones. Ones that were more cramped, like the ones that had my medication and everything else on it.
Mm-hmm.
I moved the medication to a different one so that I could easily see the things. And then right beside it, I have on another one, I have it so I can easily see it and get it. My deodorant, the cologne, and it was my contacts at one point.
They're still there. Your contacts had
my contacts were. I'd take them out because they're the daily disposables. So they come in rows of 5. So I'd put the 2 of them together because they worked like that. So
you're very particular about how you have them. So they come in separate boxes.
Yes.
But then they come in these plastic little individual, and you snap them off, and then you have to pull the top part off to get to them.
Yes.
But the way that they fit together is like one is upside down and then the other one is on top of it, right?
Yes.
And then it kind of keeps them together, and it takes a smaller space.
Yes, with more in it, yes.
Mm-hmm. And so those are there.
Yes.
And do you like being able to see your stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's one of the things that I thought of giving this to you instead of taking it with us, because we have this big wall in our room, and it would have fit just fine, and it would have been okay. But I thought that would be something that you would really like, because it's been my perception that you like seeing your stuff.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's not just a guess.
Right.
I think that comes from years of seeing you and where you put your belongings.
Yeah.
And it feels different than when I go in your room and it's a mess. I feel like there are things that you put in certain areas deliberately that I've just noticed that it would indicate that you like to see where they are.
Right. And a lot of times it didn't start out that way. Because a lot of times I put something where I can easily reach it, and it makes it so that I'm used to it being there. Why change it?
Mm-hmm. So if you have this cubby,
mm-hmm.
and you only have medication sitting in that cubby, would you ever put anything behind that medication in that cubby? Or is that cubby just for medication now?
I might put something behind it, but
But that's for medication now. That cubby is for medication, right?
In those spots of it, yes.
Right. Even though there's a ton of room left over.
Yeah.
So that doesn't matter to you. When you think of that little cubby space, it's not, I have more room for something else. To you, this spot is now designated for medication. So that's where it's going to stay.
Usually, yes.
Okay.
One of the other things that I need to consider is that I don't have all of my stuff in the room yet. I don't have all my shelving up there yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you still have, so you don't feel settled yet.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense to me because I'm not either. Because we're just, like I said, getting Pappy's stuff over there and then trying to find a place, trying to get the stuff out of one room, get it into another. But then there's other rooms that are moving around at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And all the belongings,
Yeah.
and going through Nana's stuff, and it's just doesn't really feel settled yet. But go ahead.
That leads me into another issue that I'm having. Is that because it's not settled. I'm not settled. It doesn't necessarily feel like home yet.
Mm-hmm. I get that. There's stuff everywhere. I mean, it's a mess around here because of just trying to find a place for something. And sometimes it's working, we'll move something somewhere. It's like, yeah, that's perfect. Great, that's where it's going to stay. But there's still too many moving parts, and we have too much of everything, really.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, still two households trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
But back to your bedroom, you tend to like to hang up your clothes.
Yes.
Instead of have them folded up and put in
on a shelf or in a drawer, yeah.
Yeah, why is that?
For one thing, it doesn't wrinkle them up. Nellie, why are you attacking the printer? Yeah. Another clothes on the hanger. That's right. Mm-hmm. Another reason is that it makes it easier for me to see not just what I have clean, but what would go together.
Okay.
And it just makes it easier for me to see that. I don't know. It's just
you hang up you even hang up your T-shirts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
thankfully for you, at least, I don't hang up my underwear. But
well, now you have baskets for your underwear.
Yes.
Yeah. So you hang up pants.
Yes.
But you don't hang up shorts.
No, they're too short.
Okay. They'll fall off the hangers.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a particular kind of hanger?
I prefer the thicker plastic ones that are like the triangle shaped.
That have the rubber on them to hold things so they don't fall off?
Yeah, with the rotating hook, yeah.
And they have to be the same color?
I'd like them to be.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to be. I definitely prefer for them to be, though.
Okay. So the hangers are white, and then sometimes you can get like a light green on them, or sometimes you can get a blue.
Yeah.
That's the colors I've seen them.
Yeah, of the rubber stuff on them, yeah.
Right. And whenever you put them on, it would make sense to me that you want them to be like conforming.
Yeah.
For them to all be the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you have an order that you hang your clothes in?
I do.
I've never asked you that question.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I put them all together by type and also by what kind of purpose that type is used for. Like, pajama bottoms are not the same as pants.
Do you put your pajama bottoms on a hanger?
Yeah, the pants at least.
Oh, okay.
So that's a distinction, though, is between regular pants during the day and pajama bottoms that are pants.
So how do you coordinate that in your closet?
Well, right now I don't have hangers for the stuff. They're because they're all still being moved and everything.
Okay.
But typically speaking, it would be heavier, like long sleeve shirts, or sweaters or whatever. Then pants.
Are you going from left to right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then pants, and I even with that, I typically, like, if I have multiple pairs of jeans or whatever, I typically have the jeans together. But then I go with t-shirts that I typically worn during the day. And while I don't necessarily have a lot of night shirts, there are some t-shirts that I can wear at night, and those ones I actually put next to what the next section is, which is the pants for sleepwear.
Okay.
Pajama bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
And then the shirts that are for sleeping, or undershirts even, are in the next section. And then jackets, whatever.
Do you ever sleep in shorts? I don't mean
sometimes.
I don't mean regular shorts. I don't mean like if you just happen to fall asleep and
No, I know gym shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. Don't have a lot of them right now though.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you prefer that, or you prefer longer pants?
Depends on how warm or cold it's supposed to be at night.
Mm-hmm.
Here the temperature in the house gets chilly at night,
Mm-hmm.
so I tend to wear pants more often.
Mm-hmm. I make the house cooler at night.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I need that, but because Pappy says that he gets so hot at night that he wants it turned down colder.
Mm-hmm.
So, since they've lived with us, I'm wearing.
You're wearing a
pajama. I know I'm wearing a hoodie right now. But, But yeah, I wear pajama bottoms because it's just cold around here at night.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never knew that about the closet.
Yeah.
I never knew that about how you would hang stuff up.
Yeah.
So.
And honestly, that didn't really come about until I think it was whenever we moved to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, it wasn't like an actual door to get into the closet. Like, because whenever we lived in Pennsylvania, I had an actual door. Granted, it was like a shorter door. It was weird, but
that's because it was a Cape Cod, and so and you had one of the big bedrooms upstairs, and the room was angled at the roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a smaller door for the closet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's this weird little door. Yeah.
But instead of having like rolling doors or whatever, it was an actual door.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we moved to Florida, we had rolling doors for the closets,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I really started to use the closet in that way.
And plus, it was normal size.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, yeah. And so when you did that, you just naturally put them in a particular order?
I don't know if anything I do is considered natural or not, but
Well, natural to you.
True.
Yeah.
True. But
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So from saying from the very first time, you just kind of said, okay, this goes with this.
To make it
and then
easier.
this section is this, and then this section is this. Because, you know, your dad has a habit of... So when he gets stuff out of the dresser, he will just he'll grab whatever's on top.
Yeah.
So, in the closet, he's retired now, but he would have dress clothes,
Mm-hmm.
and I would put the dress clothes, shirts, and then the pants. No, sorry. I would put the pants on the left,
Yeah.
and then the dress shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would put jeans, because I had to separate things.
Right.
Or else he would just grab whatever would, you know. So it would just easier that way.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing that I separated was my polo shirts
Mm-hmm.
are separated from the t-shirts.
Why is that? Because of work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do that before work? I would imagine you did.
Before work, I would have maybe one or two fancy dress shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And those would typically be on like the very far left
Okay.
of the closet because I wouldn't move them around as much then.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And so you do have a closet now, and I think what my goal is that by the end of this weekend, that everything in that room is just yours, and you have then an opportunity to put anything wherever you want it.
Yeah.
And that should be, there's not very much in there at all, so that should be easy to do.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So I just want to imagine is that it's difficult because while we've moved out so many things, it's still, this whole process has been so difficult.
Yeah.
But so when you are surrounded by your things, I imagine that you are going to be happier and more comfortable when those things include your books on the shelves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's been happening here is that since Nana and Pappy had moved up here,
Mm-hmm.
I had typically been staying with RJ to make sure that there was enough room here, and it would just made everything easier.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the nights that I would stay here, at night, the shades are down, doors are closed, it's all quiet everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I would start getting antsy and not quite dizzy, but just like whatever. I don't know what it's called.
At night?
At night, yeah.
Okay.
And part of that was because it wasn't my room.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't my stuff. It wasn't my room. And it would stress me out.
I think that that's comparable to anybody that when you go visiting somebody, you go to their house.
Yeah.
It's fine. It feels good. It's nice to have, the company, the conversation, the food. Usually, we always play board games and things like that. I'm thinking of your Aunt Becky.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's not home. You have to think about where your things are, and it's a different process. But yeah, when you're in your own space with all of your own things, it just feels, I think, very...
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. Oh my gosh.
And I would think that that's even more important for you than even things that I've felt like that before, because it's important for you to be comfortable, and your environment has to feel comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And making sure that I know where my stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
And that I am able to know where my stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just say this twice, just different ways?
I think... I don't know. Maybe you did, but I took it as you need to be kind of surrounded by your stuff, and then to know where it is.
Yes. That's. If I didn't say it like that, that's what I was trying to
say. Okay.
Because it's familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it easier on me.
Mm-hmm.
Less stressful. Less worry.
Right. Just to have the things that you like.
Yeah.
And that belong to you.
Yeah.
Right. Do you line up your shoes?
Do I line up my shoes?
Yeah, like when you put them in the closet. Do you put your shoes in the closet?
I don't put my shoes in the closet.
Do you?
What I do is I take them off and put them where, not necessarily where I have to. Let me. On a typical morning, I get up, and wherever I put my feet, I make sure my shoes are not there.
Right.
I make sure that they're actually a little bit away from that, but still close to where I can sit down and put my shoes on after I get ready.
Mm-hmm. But you have more than one pair of shoes. Like you have flip-flops, you have tennis shoes, you have a pair of dress shoes. I think that's all right now, isn't it?
I don't even have flip-flops right now.
What'd you do with them?
They got nasty.
Oh, okay.
Worn down and nasty, yeah.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah, right now I think I have dress shoes.
I do. Some nice black ones. They're all black.
Yeah. And those are still in a box, in a bin. Okay. And waiting to come over here.
Okay. Okay.
But other than that, I just have the shoes I'm wearing right now.
So is there anything other than that you need to have happen for you to feel comfortable?
Other than
having your stuff in your room the way that you want it to be.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, okay. In the bathroom. Mm-hmm. It was a bathroom that was the bathroom I was using all the time because the room that you're in is right across the hall from the bathroom.
Yes.
Well, the only other bathroom is in the master, and then of course now there's another bathroom on the addition.
Right.
So there's three total, but of course I'm not going to go use that one.
Right.
Anyway, there's a mat that I have down. So I have like this beach-themed bathroom.
Yeah.
And there's a mat that has a turtle on it.
Yeah.
And the whole time, when I'm using this, the turtle, when it's time for the turtle mat to be there.
Yeah. The shell of the turtle is facing the tub.
Exactly. So when you walk in, it's like you see this full turtle, on the mat, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
How come you spin it every single time? Like, since you've been back here, every time I go in there, I'm like spinning the turtle back around. You spin the turtle.
So the shell's facing the wall away from the toilet, yeah.
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 What, you don't like the turtle?
No, I do.
Could you start putting the turtle back? I don't care if you move it, if you need for it to be moved.
Right.
Could you put it back the way that I like it before you leave the bathroom.
I can certainly try to.
Okay. I have moved that turtle back easily 20 times since you've been back here.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, the kids is doing this. And then the kids weren't here, and it was like that. And I'm like, Josh!
Yeah. Yeah. The way that the outer part of the tub is, it's actually like a bubbled out on the rim and everything. So I slide it a little bit away from the tub. But I also turn it because otherwise the...
Is it an angle thing?
Kind of, but not. It's more space effective.
Okay. Because I have another mat that I got, and you're going to love the color. It's one of your favorite colors.
Is it like an aqua or teal green or whatever?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
And I got it for you to put down in there as well. So you can do both of them in there at the same time, or just change them out, as you'd like.
Cool.
But if they're in there at the same time, the turtle has to stay the way it is.
Yeah.
And the other one can be longer, not touching.
Right.
But it's like as you walk into the, in the door.
Yeah. If there was another one beside it, it would be facing the same direction with that the turtle one would be if the turtle one had the shell facing the tub, had the top of the shell towards the tub.
No, it would be long ways. So like
I'm telling you how I would do it.
Oh, I don't think it would fit.
But
it might. I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, put the turtle mat the way I like it, please. Okay, will you do that?
All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's my angles or whatever. I don't know, but that's just how I like it. And I'm spinning it back around. Because, that bathroom is closer, so it's the one everybody uses, but it's really cool looking now.
Yeah.
Decorated and beachy and very cozy.
Yeah.
So in that bathroom, I have another question for you, and this will probably be it.
Mm-hmm.
In that shower, it's a rain shower.
Oh, I hate that.
That's what's going to be my question.
Oh. Yeah, I don't like those.
How come?
It doesn't have enough water pressure, for one.
Okay.
So, because it doesn't have enough water pressure, it's also like it's coming out as if it was rain. Like, I know it's supposed to.
It's very big, and it's, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's supposed to. I don't like that because it doesn't come out in... If you had a light rain going on outside, you wouldn't try and wash your hair in it.
Mm-hmm.
You'd want to have a little bit harder rain or moving water or whatever. Not a light rain shower, and that's what it feels like in there.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to... When Nana and Pappy moved up here in the master bath, it had a rain shower as well. And so what we did, and this is ceramic tile, Dad cut a hole in the wall, hooked into the plumbing, and put,
made it a side one, yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And because we know that she could not take a shower in a rain shower. She just couldn't do it. She couldn't get out. She didn't like getting her head wet, so like from that kind of thing. She didn't,
it's that's another part of it is a sensory thing, because it's such a light touch or whatever. It's very...
It's a tingle?
No, it's very irritating.
Okay.
And it's I don't like it.
All right. Then that will be one of the first things that we do. If you need to shower in the master bathroom until then, just go ahead. And because it's already done. But we will change that rain shower out as soon as possible, so you don't have to deal with that.
Thank you.
All right.
Didn't mean to prevent your question.
No, that's cool. That's cool. So I've been wondering about that. Yeah. So there's just different things that I've been noticing around here, and just
Yeah.
have been curious about it, and
Yeah.
just want to make sure that you're comfortable and that you have what you need, and so that stuff is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this podcast is coming out tomorrow, and that means we have from today 4 days. So today's Thursday. We have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday we have a speech
Awesome.
that we're giving.
Awesome.
Yep. It's here in Newport News. It's a private function, but it's just, I'm looking so forward to
It's
it.
our first one.
In a while. Well,
Oh,
in a while. Not our first, no, but first one in a while because of COVID.
Right.
And so it's going to be nice getting back to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. And that's gonna. Are you excited? Are you nervous?
I'm anxious about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm anxious about it too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be so much fun. Anyway, and after that, I have stand-up gigs on the books, and hopefully Monday night, we'll get other speeches booked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep your fingers and eyes crossed, right?
Eyes crossed.
Yeah. Very good. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and apologize for not being doing a podcast last week. We've had such trouble with the who is it? Is Audacity? Is it? I can't remember, but whatever the platform is that we use to put the podcast up, it has been giving so many troubles, so many problems in doing that, and it's become a real big problem. So we're looking for a different. I think the word is platform.
Media platform, yeah.
Yes. So if anybody listening to this has an idea, suggestion, one that that we can
post to and it would go to others, or what?
Yeah, I mean he uses a certain. So in other words, like we know that it goes to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. That's not the platform. What he uses is a company that helps him to post the podcast to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know the language
it's
here.
It's an intermediary.
Okay.
That through them,
Mm-hmm.
it posts on multiple different places.
Right. But the trouble is not those other places.
Right.
The trouble is the one that we use to be able to put it up to begin with has been malfunctioning.
Yes.
And we go to put it up and it's not allowing us to.
Right.
And it's been such a frustration. Even some of the podcasts that do go up on time, it's just such a struggle and a hassle to be able to get it up there. And last week it just wouldn't work at all, so we couldn't put a podcast up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
So hopefully keep your fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow it's going to go up. But anyway, anybody that has any suggestions, some inside scoop here, please contact us and let us know. You can reach me at just go to the website sonyaking.com. It's SONYAKING, and if you would just send me a message, there's a link there where you can send me a message, and that would help us so much because we really want to make sure that it's consistent.
Yeah.
And the times when we're sick and stuff like that, we can't really help it, but it's so frustrating for us to have done the podcast,
be really happy about it,
and then not be able to post it.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it's just been a struggle. So any input would be appreciated.
Yeah.
If you like what Josh and I do, please give us 5 stars wherever you listen, because it helps to bump us up and people can find us easier. So that would be great.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much for today. That's it. And I'll go get the rest of my junk out of your room. So that's gotta hear and go do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope everybody's happy and healthy and you're taking care of yourself. And it's super important. Do something for yourself, because life can seem kind of crazy right now with lots of stuff going on in the world. Make sure you do something good to yourself, for yourself, and buy yourself something or enjoy a nice meal.
Yeah.
Or just get in your pajamas early and kick back and watch a movie. Do whatever you do that makes you happy.
Yeah.
So anyway, big hugs to all of you out there. Love you.
Bye.